Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and we have a Conqueror battle. I usually don't take out the Conqueror, I'm not a overly big fan of it, but in this instance I found it something I wanted to do. Conqueror, yeah, it's a meme, I know. So we are in a tier 10 battle, and as you can see, there are 3 Republics, a Musashi, a Soyuz on the enemy team. And, well, as many people are probably aware, Conqueror is really good with HE, but its AP is actually quite fantastic as well. Now, I am joined with Wheeze and the Zao, and he's going to be helping me. So we got the Zao and the MegaZao playing together. And, of course, Republic is detected, and we do have HE loaded, and even at this range, this is kind of what the Conqueror really does a good job with. It's just doing fire damage at long range. So, salvo off. Now, the Conqueror obviously does have the choice of using the much larger caliber guns. You do lose 4 guns, though, which is the only downside of it. And also, one little side note is I actually got a new headset, and it's really good. I'm really liking this headset. It makes the sounds really, I don't know, bassy. It does a really good job. I'm really loving my new headset. So, anyways, starting off, it is domination. We are playing on North, and we're gonna at least try to hold them back. Conqueror, not terribly great ship as far as really being speedy, being maneuverable. It still has that hidden citadel as far as I know. Last time I checked, so it can get away with showing a lot of broadside. Unlike the Zao, which, as you can see, we's just a citadel. Now, as you can see on the mini map, enemy team is starting to push towards the eastern front, which is funny because they even put up giant signs that say no battleships, yet battleships tend to still go over towards the eastern front of this map. Still very funny. Now I do switch over to AP because there is a Des Moines, there is a Neptune, and once again, Conqueror's AP is pretty good if in the right situations. Obviously, it doesn't have the penetration value of a Republic or a Yamato, but it still hits pretty hard, especially if a cruiser is foolish enough to show a lot of broadside. Now, unfortunately for Wheeze, he is obviously trying to get away as quickly as possible. That is a Des Moines, and a Des Moines can chew him up. So I'm trying to get out, trying to assist, maybe get shots on that Des Moines. Fortunately for us, the option for us is the Neptune. And once again, broadside cruisers should be careful of Conqueror AP because if a Conqueror lands his shots, instant first blood and devastating strike. So that is our first kill. Neptune goes down. And that's, I mean, I can understand. Not a lot of people will predict a Conqueror firing AP, but when it does, it can hit pretty hard. So as you can see, our team does have A and B. We're kind of losing the western front at the moment. Our Hipper and Kerfers are pretty much getting focused down at the moment. Now, one nice thing about the Conqueror is she has fairly low DTAC, 12.3 kilometers. Not as good as it used to be, but still compared to other battleships, pretty darn good. Which does mean it can be very sneaky and surprise attack, even against some cruisers. And as you can see, if the Conqueror does obviously show a lot of broadside, it can still eat a lot of AP damage. Now, for us, fortunately, we're not going to get focused down too much, and that's the Conqueror's weakness. If it does get focused down, even though it has that super amazing heal, it will go down fairly quickly. So as long as you don't allow it the opportunity to pull back and get away, it shouldn't be any issue. And there we go, kill number 2. That is the enemy Des Moines. And as you can see, the enemy team has a Jutland, the Republic, and the Musashi pushing down that corner. And is probably going to be a good idea just to try to hold them off. And this is where the Conqueror's strength kind of is. Kind of delaying an attack, as long as it doesn't really have to deal with a lot of cruisers or destroyers, it can handle battleships fairly well. Now, our team is at least ahead in ships. We've taken out 3 of their ships. The enemy team have finally captured C. And I will say the Chungmu makes a little bit questionable decision. He is trying to help out. He is dropping torpedoes. There is obviously a Jutland around, but at the exact same time, he could be trying to capture C. So it's kind of a mixed bag. He does spot the Jutland. Do instantly turn my sights on that. Conqueror's dispersion is... it's alright. It's not super amazing. Still hits pretty hard. At least 2,000 got a shell hit. So that is super nice. And this is where the fun part begins for both Wheeze and I. We're both pretty much HE spammers, and we have a Republic and a Musashi, and the Republic is kind of known for eating a lot of HE damage. So this is going to be very, very fun. So we're going to focus down the Musashi first. He is by far the weakest of the two, as far as health is concerned. Do get a fire. He is burning quite nicely. Definitely eating up all that HE damage. And now our team is kind of failing. We've lost 3 ships. We're even as far as the enemy team's concerned. And this is where the time the 2 Republics and that Russian battleship start pushing down our western flank and start focusing down our Conqueror, who is very brave to go up against 4 ships at the exact same time. And as long as we can take out these 2, that will help our team immensely. So right now we're just going to try to focus them down as quickly as possible. And once again, Conqueror, it definitely, I would not say it's a ship you want to be taking into a competitive play. It does have the potential of dealing a lot of damage over time, but it's not overly that beneficial. It doesn't have the speed. It doesn't have the health. I mean, as long as it can get away with the heals, yes, it's fine, but overall, the health is by far the lacking concern, and its outright damage, alpha damage, is quite miserable. But then again, against the Republic, 15,000 points of damage with just HE is nothing to shake a stick at. Now, the Musashi is going to go down. I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on this Republic, because this Musashi is going to get focused down by a Last Mosfa and a Zao, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now, the Republic on the enemy team does take out our Conqueror. We do still have a gearing kind of sitting around, which should help out. Finally take out that Musashi. Good job with the Alaska. And we still have that Jutland. Now, unfortunately, that Jutland isn't really doing a whole hell of a lot. Isn't really much of a threat for me because I'm actually able to just kind of reverse and just pull back. And now the Chungmu makes a very, very ballsy decision. He's well within 5 kilometers of the Republic, manages to get behind an island. And this is the time where I wish I had AP. This broadside, yes, by all means, fire AP at broadside battleship. You're going to do a big chunk of damage, but obviously it would take him too long to switch over to AP, so I am going to be sticking with HE. And yes, I know you guys could easily say that's the normal Conqueror way, but I like using the AP because a lot of people don't really assume the Conqueror is going to be firing AP. There we go. Republic's down. All that's left on this side is a Jutland. Actually, even on teams, which is really super nice. We still have that Jutland to worry about, but I think if the Chungmu does manages to kind of handle it, it should be fine. Now, obviously, Jutland's not a bad ship. Can probably chew up a Chungmu with relative ease. So as long as he has some support, aka me, he should be fine. So I am going to have my guns at least kind of in this direction. Now, as you can see on the western front, we have the 2 Republics and the Russian battleship starting to push down towards the southern front. There's the Jutland. Definitely probably will need to help this Chungmu out. Jutland, I'm trying to think. Yeah, he's definitely trying to drop torpedoes. He's not firing. He does have that Chungmu definitely hitting him pretty hard. Get a decent hit, and Let's see if we can get another one. Let's see if we can finish off this Jutland. That would be fantastic. Would definitely want to start focusing the Republic. I think I am going to get a fire on that Jutland. I'm going to let the Chungmu deal with him. Going to focus on these Republics pushing down. And this is where, by far, the Republic, the Conqueror does its best job. It's just able to focus down battleships pushing in as heavily as they are. With the fact that we have also Whis and the Zao dealing HE damage, there's not much that these Republics can really do. And what's really helping us is they're actually pushing pretty much one at a time. So even though they're fairly strong ships, they're going to get focused down relatively quickly. So hopefully we can get rid of this Republic. Now we are very far south, but there's really no reason for us to be any further north. We're actually creating a crossfire on these battleships. Take out the enemy Republic. Has killed number 3 for us. All that's left on the enemy team is a Yugang, a Soyuz, and a Republic. And once again, really nice thing about the ship is it's sneaky if it needs to be. And you can kite. So, I don't know. I know I'm giving a lot of credit to the Conqueror. I can understand the Conqueror is by far not the best battleship. But in this instance, it worked really well. Especially dealing with Republic, which just eat a lot of HE damage. Does very, very well. The Republic wisely decides to try to go quiet. Because he is going to get focused down. But does see the opportunity to deal some damage against Whis, which does allow me the opportunity to continue spamming HE, getting some semi-decent hits, but really right now we really just want to focus on getting a fire on that Republic. Now the Soyuz is also being smart. He's actually kind of being quiet. He's really hasn't been spotted. Do have the Chungmu that should be helping out. Now the Soyuz is obviously the Russian battleship, and at shorter ranges he does do a lot better, but at longer ranges not so much. Now in chat someone was complaining about us two being so far south and not helping. I'm like, sorry, I got 3 kills. I don't know what else you want me to do. So getting another salvo off, definitely doing a fairly decent amount of damage. I'm not really like super proud of this. Conqueror is kind of known for just farming damage. That's kind of the point of the ship. It farms damage with relative ease because it has that very high fire chance and good HE penetration as well. So it kind of does that. Now the enemy Republic wisely decided to retreat, because he is just going to get focused down. And Soyuz is also going to be smart enough and try to go invisible. But unfortunately for the Republic, well, even though he is, 20 kilometers away, still not that big of an issue to actually land hits. The Republic's a very large ship. Now, fortunately for us, or better yet, fortunately for me, for whatever reason, the battleships don't really seem that interested in actually shooting at me. They've been shooting at Whis this entire time, which is really unfortunate for Whis because he actually doesn't really have much in the way of armor, and I kind of do. But whatever, the battleships decide to shoot at me, get double fires on the Republic, earn Confederate, and Republic did manage to wrap that fire. But if he gets one more fire on him, that is going to be end for him. And Conqueror does have really nice long range on its guns. And any moment now, as the shells come landing and crashing down, there we go. Kill number 4 for us. That is 1 dead Republic. All that's left on the enemy team is that Yugang and that Soyuz. And we do obviously know kind of where both they're currently at. Yugang definitely is going to be a little bit of an issue because of those very fast torpedoes, or better yet, those deep water torpedoes. But we should be fine. Soyuz fires not a lot of damage, and do switch over to AP. This is where I actually think I probably really should have kept with HE, because unfortunately by the time my guns get reloaded, he's able to get turned and not showing a lot of broadside, so I do instantly switch back over to HE. I really would like to say battleships should be using both ammo types, but honestly AP for the most part does a lot better job with dealing with other battleships. Chungmu Yu Yang is spotted. Obviously he is going to be dropping torpedoes, but surprisingly I'm not the target, not the big dumb battleship. It's unfortunately for Wheeze, gets hit, does unfortunately go down, and can we get at least revenge on this Yu Yang? Now the Yu Yang, like I said, it's not as good as it used to be. Used to be actually really good, but they went in with the Nerf bat and they smashed it very, very hard, and now it's just not as good as it used to be. By far not the most favorite destroyer anymore. Torpedoes are still good. They just take forever to reload, but once they hit pretty hard, and they're very, very hard to detect. So very sneaky, but any moment now we kind of know where roughly Yu Yang is. He is obviously moving out west. He's no longer in the smoke screen. And we're so close to a Kraken, it almost hurts. Now, currently we're sitting at 215,000 points of damage, which isn't bad for Conqueror standard. I hate to say it's kind of the standard. If the Conqueror is played right, you can get this damage. Then again, you can kind of do this damage with any battleship, but Conqueror with its HE, yeah, it kind of does this. Yu Yang obviously is now detected. Our friendly Chungmu is being very, very brave. Can we get kill number 5 on this Yu Yang? Fortunately, not with that salvo. We have the opportunity for one more salvo. Can we get this Kraken? And yes, we can. So overall, not a bad battle with the Conqueror. 492,020 silver, 14,000 XP, earned devastating strike, Confederate, Kraken Unleashed, high caliber, and first blood. 218,545 points of damage, 101 shell hits, 5 kills, and 2 citadels. And yes, 10 fires. I used a lot of HE, but in my defense, there was a lot of Republics that definitely just eat HE. So top of the team with a basic speed of 2,396, and as you can see, most of the damage was with HE. High explosive did 111,517. AP shells did manage 55,000, but fires did 51,000. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining in and watching. And if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.